Hello, Scorpio. Hello, Scorpio. Welcome to December. This is Gwendolyn. Welcome back to the channel. Or if it's your first time here, welcome. This is going to be a monthly Tarotscope for Scorpio for December. And as we open up in December, we are on the tail end of Mercury retrograde. So if communications are haywire or scrambled or in delay or anything like that, electronics are going crazy, that often shows up during a Mercury retrograde. But it's also a really good time to go within, to process things, to finish up old projects that are still open-ended, or to tie up any loose ends on things. It's a really good time to reflect and go inwards and do all those words that have to do with like recharge, renew, reflect, rejuvenate, R&R, rest and relaxation, all that good stuff. So that's till December 6th. And then we also have Neptune that went back direct from being in retrograde. That's in your 5th house of true love and romance. So you may be stepping out of any forms of fantasy or illusion in terms of your love life, or how true love shows up for you in romance, creativity. Neptune's going direct in its home planet Pisces, so your 5th house. That's a nice event to have happened recently. So let's look at what's coming up for you for December, Scorpio. I'm using the Vision Quest Tarot this month. It's a Native American themed deck, and I love the illustrations. It's by Guyan Sylvie Winter and Joe Doze. This is the box on it. And then I'm clarifying with a new deck that I have, which I love, called the Builders of the Addendum. And it's based on Rider-Waite, but it's black and white artwork, and you can see that here. So I'm really liking this deck. It's meant to be colored in, but I haven't colored it in yet. I'm looking forward to doing that. So let's see what's coming up for you, Scorpio. We have Daughter of Fire, which is Page of Wands in reverse, Balance in reverse, 8 of Air, Interference, 8 of Swords in reverse. Move that over. And then 8 of Water upright. So there's some 8s, which is balance actually here is card 8 as well. So you have triple 8s, which usually signifies abundance, prosperity. 8 is a power number, and it has to do with leadership, organization, being successful with the group. I'll talk a little bit more about that as I come back to it. Let's see what else you have. Son of Air, which is Knight of Wands, Knight of Swords in reverse. 6 of Fire, Victory. 6 of Wands in the middle of your reading upright, so that's showing some success coming to you in the middle of the month. 5 of Earth, Insecurity. Mother of Air, which is Queen of Swords. Medicine Woman, which is High Priestess. And I'll be holding these up for you too as I discuss each card, so I'm just calling them out for you as I lay them down here, but I'll be holding them up for you to see. 4 of Air, Contemplation. 4 of Swords. Big Medicine Wheel, which is World in reverse. And then we end with Chaos, which is the Tower card in this deck. So let's take a look and see what's going on for you, Scorpio. We open the month with 3 cards in reverse. We've got the Daughter of Fire, we have Balance, and 8 of Air in reverse. And this 8 of Air is called Interference in this deck. It's normally someone who's surrounded by 8 swords, and it's usually a card about feeling hopeless, feeling powerless in a situation, feeling captive to your thoughts. With this Balance and Daughter of Fire in reverse, Scorpio, I'm going to say there's some challenge at the beginning of the month to your enthusiasm or your ability to balance yourself, your ability to take action in a balanced way. It might be either being too energetic, too fiery, maybe there's some rage or argumentativeness showing up, or that you may be having fears, doubts, or resistance about taking action at all. So there's a way in which your balance needs to come back into order, and usually because they're 8s, all 3 of the next cards are 8s after the first card Page of Wands. Usually 8s have to do with balance in terms of giving and receiving. So usually when I talk to people who are 8 personalities, I talk about that infinity symbol and I liken it to a boat. So the power of a boat can be expressed when it's in balance, then it can go across the water. If it's tilted in any direction, it can't function. Same with the power of the 8. If you are giving too much or taking too much, then the inherent power of the 8 cannot be expressed. It's like a boat that can't sail because it's tilted in one direction. So what this is telling me is that your balance may be out of whack in one of those areas. You may need to look at whether you're giving too much and you need to receive more, or whether you are receiving too much and you need to give more. You'll know where you are on that scale. And that will help you take more inspired action. That will help you, it will help bring balance back in, and it will help you with being energized. Like if you're feeling depleted because you're always giving out but you're not receiving back in, by correcting that balance and removing any fears to asking for things back, being willing and courageous to ask when you're giving out, it will fire you up. It will give you more energy. It will give you impetus, optimism, positive forward directive movement to take action. And we just entered Sun in Sagittarius, so it's a really optimistic, fiery, action-driven sign. It's very sort of celebratory and kick up your heels, and it's a wonderful time for parties. But as we enter the beginning of December, there's still that residual Mercury retrograde, so that may be what's part of what's going on here, is that your action is being dampened because there's something that's out of balance. And then also with 8 of Air, 8 of Swords in reverse, you might be coming out of a period of any thoughts that limit you, any thoughts that feel like they constrict you, letting go of an old way of thinking. And that's going to actually help you move on. This is 8 of Water, and it's called stagnation here, but I'm seeing the traditional Rider-Waite definition, which is moving on to the next cycle. Stagnation means this cycle's over. There's something that you're letting go of with this Mercury retrograde, an old way of thinking, and that's what swords represent: ideas, thoughts, beliefs, knowledge, wisdom, understanding. You're letting go of this because it's just bringing you to a stagnant place. It's sort of like, I'm even seeing in here, it's like having eaten a whole meal and you can't sit at that table forever. A new meal needs to be cooked and eaten to nourish you. So as you're letting go of these thoughts, Scorpio, that are, if in any way draining or restricting or interfering, that's the word here, is interference. If they're any way interfering with you moving forward, that's what's being let go of, because it's leading to a sense of stagnation where it's just sort of like same old is what I'm getting. And that's what is also bringing this in reverse. It's like saying I don't have the energy, optimism, enthusiasm, motivation, or inspiration to do something new. Things feel a little bit out of balance, out of whack. Coming into moderation is going to be a really good step for you. This is in the Rider-Waite, this is strength, but balance, strength and justice are often flipped in a Thoth-based deck, and so I'm looking at the other card as well that is represented by this. It's balancing of the scales, bringing things into order. That's what's going to allow you to let go. It might be thoughts of like, okay, I always have to give, but I never get to receive. That might be the belief that you're letting go of, something like that, which has been leading you to stagnation, but now it's going to be a time of abundance with these 3 8s coming in. So interesting stuff. I think that might be part of what you're purging at the opening of December, Scorpio. And then I see too, Son of Air, which is Knight of Swords in the regular tarot. This is fast-moving energy, but it's in the reverse, and it's communication. So this could be not receiving some communication that you were hoping to get, or slowing things down is actually what I'm getting for you, slowing your thought process down as you've cleared things out. And with that slowing down comes a lot of victory. This is 6 of Wands. This is being recognized, being celebrated, riding in on the horse, being the hero of your own story, maybe getting a job promotion or some sort of public recognition. And with Five of Earth, there's a loss here. This is Five of Coins, and in this deck it's called insecurity. So there may be something that you're afraid of losing, Scorpio, and that's causing you to feel some fear. It's causing you to feel insecure, literally. But right next to it, I'm seeing Queen of Swords, Queen of Air, and this is really a card about declaring your boundaries. This is a card of saying, okay, this person's in, this person's out, this is to the left, this is to the right, this is within my sphere of influence, this is outside of my sphere of influence, this is what I will allow, this is what I will not allow. She's really clear on boundaries. And so with this, I think that that's speaking your truth. She's normally holding up a sword of the truth. And I think by speaking your truth and getting clear on your boundaries and expressing them, that is what is going to cure any feelings of insecurity or loss here. You're going to be able to sit in the seat of Queen of Air, Queen of Swords, and declare that truth. And that's what's going to bring you this victory. In the spread, it's actually arranged like this, where there is victory and Queen of Swords surrounding this insecurity. So it's sort of that feeling of feeling your knees shake while you declare something, but declaring it anyway. And I'm also getting that with this balance card, which is often the card of strength and justice, really. I kind of am flipping them between 8 and 11 because they alternate between different decks. So what I'm really getting is that if you're feeling any sort of fear of loss, insecurity, feeling like you've been left out in the cold, by declaring yourself, this is what's true for me, this is my truth, these are my boundaries, this is what I accept or do not accept, you actually get a lot of public recognition from this victory. You actually triumph over any loss that you might incur because you're clear about staying true to yourself. You actually keep the value. You don't end up losing something because you're real clear about where you're at. So I'm seeing all three of these working very much together, Scorpio. It's possible too that you could be aided by someone who is an air sign, so Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius, but I'm really getting that this is you, and your declaration of your truth and your boundaries is what prevents you from this loss, Five of Coins, and rewards you with this victory. So it's kind of like the choice is yours. Do you want victory and success, or do you want fear and loss, insecurity about losing something? Being expressive of your thoughts and beliefs is really going to help you this month. And then also getting quiet and letting new information come in. This is a card of expression, being clear, being direct, being honest. And this is a card of getting quiet and listening. And I'm really getting the sense that both of those are very important. This is High Priestess, which in this deck is called Medicine Woman. And this means getting quiet to receive information and get really clear on things. You kind of get new insights and new clarity when you get really quiet and listen in to your own intuition, your own inner knowing. And it's coming right next to this card of Four of Swords, which means rest, relaxation. A lot of those Mercury retrograde themes, that's actually showing up again for you towards the end of the month, right around the solstice. Contemplation. I'm getting a sense that it might be good for you to take a retreat, Scorpio. High Priestess is about getting quiet. Four of Swords is about getting quiet. Resting and relaxing to fight another day. So I'm really getting this I'm getting this beautiful sort of air quality. Both of these are swords cards, and then this is a major arcana. This beautiful clarity of saying your piece, and then sort of sitting back and being quiet and letting information come in. You know, hanging the swords up on the wall, hanging the thoughts up on the wall. This could even be a card of meditation as well as High Priestess here. Because you are wrapping something up. that's going to be ending towards the end of the month. You may have some fears, doubts, and resistance about it, but there is big change at the end of the month. This is the World card, which is the end of a major cycle, and it's appearing here in reverse. So that's what's telling me that there's some fear, doubt, or resistance to letting this cycle complete. There's some big change ahead. This is the Tower card. This is the Chaos card. This means sudden, unexpected change. And I like the image in this deck where the stallion is being released. He's running free. And there's lightning. It's chaotic. It's in a storm. But the sense I get here is that this is ending and this is what's coming in. Big, dramatic change. And you almost want to hang on to the security of this and whatever lessons were learned in this. It's sort of like you've graduated and you're comfortable in that, saying, you know, I know how to function in this cycle. I've learned the lessons. I've graduated. It's sort of like someone who's graduated from high school but wants to stay in high school. That's the feeling of world in reverse. There's a big world out there, and it's calling you, and it's scary and unknown and full of mystery and surprises and adventure. And this is what's coming up after that. But you have to release yourself from this. There was a quote that I heard recently that said, the past is where we learn the lesson, and our future is where we apply the lesson. It's sort of like you've taken riding lessons. You know how to do that. And now this is the time to go out into the world and ride that horse and go to the new land, go to the new place of adventure, the new mystery. This is where old structures are broken down. And renewal is the next step after this one. So there's some exciting energy at the end of December for you, Scorpio, but you might have some fear, doubt, or resistance to letting that cycle complete, to moving on from that cycle. And it's going to be really beneficial for you right around the solstice to go within and listen to the messages that you get. I'm seeing the moon both here in the crescent form and here in the full moon form. For that solstice. Really good time to do some internal, just getting quiet and listening to the messages that are coming in for you during that time, because it's going to serve you with moving on from this cycle and going into this new transformational adventure. It's really pretty exciting, Scorpio. I love it for you. And in the middle of the month, again, just remember to be honest with yourself. Use that Queen of Swords energy to be really sharp, really clear about your boundaries, and that will help you take any insecurities or fears of loss and transform them into victory. It's sort of like saying, oh, I'm afraid I might lose something if I go forward with this, but I'm going to do it anyway because I know there's success possible if I stay true to myself. That's what all this is saying. And don't worry if at the beginning of the month it feels like there's some delay, especially in communication, that will wrap up after the 6th. There is a certain amount of purging and letting go that you're going to need to do, especially in terms of your thoughts and or beliefs. But there's 3 8s showing up here for you. If you can balance that 8 energy, which has to do with giving and receiving in balance, that unlocks a lot of abundance and power for you at the beginning of the month. And it may help you with any challenges to your current motivation, enthusiasm, ability to act or take action on something. So that's my reading for you, Scorpio. Let me just do 1 or 2 clarifiers on here with the builders of the Addendum deck. Please give me clarification on this wheel, this cycle that's ending for Scorpio. Yeah, Empress. This is where you're headed, Scorpio. It's beautiful energy. This is receiving the grand abundance. And I really get that 888 energy at the beginning of the reading having to do with this, letting the abundance in. You've learned everything that you needed to learn from this cycle. And this is, she has the world at her feet. This is the World card. So you're moving into this. So that's a beautiful clarification on that. And let me see, what area is Scorpio going to experience the success in? The 6 of Fire. Please clarify that for me for Scorpio. Wheel of Fortune. So in all areas of good luck, the wheel turning in your favor, things happening at the right time, divine timing, you know, good things happening. It's funny, this this is echoing this world card where we've got the 4 figures at the corners. You're being supported from all 4 corners of the universe. These are symbols that represent Aquarius, Taurus. You're in here too, Scorpio. You're actually represented by the eagle in these. And then Leo, all the fixed signs of the celestial sphere. So it's right on time. It's divine timing. It's success coming to you as you triumph over your fears and speak your truth. A lot of really good stuff here, Scorpio. So I hope all of you have beautiful holidays, whether you celebrate Christmas or Hanukkah or any other holiday. Hope you have beautiful, or don't celebrate at all. Hope you have a beautiful December. And if you'd ever like to book a personal reading with me, you can do that up above. I'll have a link. And everyone, I will see you in the new year. Have a wonderful new year as well. As always, thanks for watching. Yours in the stars.